What if I was to say to you that you and your life are completely insignificant? How would it make you feel? Think about it for a moment. JT here at Access Health and Fitness, bringing you a happy video. It's April 18th, 2020. It's my birthday today, actually. We're in the middle of the corona pandemic. I only recently reactivated this YouTube channel. I had originally started off just doing videos on my phone for clients, and then it has evolved into doing technical videos for everyone. And now I want to take it a step further. Listen to a friend of mine there during the week. I decided I have ideas and thoughts and opinions and stories and experiences, and at the moment I have time, so I wanted to share it with people. And if it helps people, great. If not, well, it's okay. I've kept myself busy while my facility is closed. So I want to bring you a few videos. It won't keep you as long, only a few minutes each, and just see what happens. So your insignificance. So this came about, about 12 years ago, 2008. So without getting into the next story now, we'll do this another day, but I attempted suicide in 2008, and this is where all this stems from then, okay? So the beauty in your insignificance, like, we all think that we're really important, and in a way we are really important. We're the most important people in our own universe. But outside of that, like, if something was to come down and snap me off planet Earth today, nothing would really change. The universe will still expand, and the sun will still rise and set every day, and the earth will still turn, and I'm not bigger than the coronavirus, and we're getting on all right at the moment. So I'd imagine if I was gone, the world will get on with their lives. So in a way, like, in that mundane sense, we are insignificant, but there is a beauty in that. There's a beauty in realizing how insignificant you and your life is, okay? So this is something I often say to people. It's a bit of a mind-expanding exercise, so bear with me for about 90 seconds, okay? So I want you to realize we're on planet Earth. If you've traveled, you have an idea of how big Earth is for one person. But there's 7.5 billion of us on here at the moment. So on planet Earth, then you have our sun. You can fit 1 million Earths into our sun. Our sun is 1 million times bigger than planet Earth, okay? And we're in our solar system. Then we're part of the Milky Way, the galaxy. But in the Milky Way, we have, give or take, about 200 billion stars. So a star like our sun, but some of them are potentially 1 million times bigger than our own sun. So our sun is 1 million times bigger than Earth, and we have 200 billion suns or stars in the galaxy, which is potentially 1 million times bigger than our own sun. But there's possibly 100 billion galaxies in the universe, each with 200 billion stars, and those stars might have their own solar systems and their own planet Earths or similar Earths. So, in theory, there's more stars out in the universe than what we have grains of sand on Earth. So if you were to pick up a handful of sand, each grain represents a star, which is potentially 1 million times bigger than our own sun, which is 1 million times bigger than Earth. So, like, as humans, we can't comprehend the vastness of the universe and of size, but but when you bring it right down then to one human, it's like we're such a little, we're not even like an ant, we're like a peck, a dot, we're so small and so insignificant, like, because there's 7.5 billion of us now, but what about everyone that came before us? We have a recorded history of something like 6,000 years. We know with the likes of Göbekli Tepe that there were civilizations going back about 11,000 years. But what about before that? Like, we didn't just walk out of evolve out of a cave 11,000 years ago and then start building the likes of Göbekli Tepe and all. This has gone on for thousands of years. If you read that book, Sapiens, what was it, the last 200,000 years, kind of our own humanoid evolution in a way. So, if we're lucky, or if I'm lucky, I live for, say, 85 healthy years. And at 85, maybe one day I'll be lucky enough just to wake up dead, okay? So 85 years, and going through everything I just talked about, and the Earth is about, 4.3 billion years old or something like that. Universe is like 13.8 billion years old. And it's like, we're nothing. You know, we're you know, even in terms of life forms, like in terms of animals and insects and everything that's now and everything that was before and potential life on all other planets and all those other galaxies across the universe, you know, we are insignificant, you know, and our lives are insignificant, you know, and no matter who you think of, you know, I don't care if it's Kardashians or Tom Cruise or Floyd Mayweather, you know, we'll all be forgotten about in 100, 200 years time, you know. So, you know, it doesn't matter how successful, you know, or how famous you are today, you know, it's not going to last, you know. But yeah, so, you know, that's how insignificant we all are, you know. But there's a beauty in that, okay? And this is where there's a fork in the road, because you can, one end you can go, okay, well, you know, if we're so insignificant, then why bother? Why bother playing the rules of society? You know, why bother getting a job and an education, and why bother paying bills, and why bother looking after our health? And, you know, you're right. Why bother? But the other side of it is a bit more positive. It's like, you know, why bother not doing just everything you want to do? You know, why get restricted by things like people's opinions? You know, and I suppose everything comes down to people's opinions, because, you know, even if you read it in a magazine or see it in a movie or you know, it's someone's opinion, it's someone's idea to have put that out there, you know. And, you know, if especially, you know, not just females but males as well, but definitely females, you know, if someone is portrayed as a good looking female, you know, that's just also an opinion, isn't it? You know, if you buy a new top and someone says, oh no, that doesn't look well on you, you know, but you really like it, but you'd let their opinion stop you from wearing it, you know. And, you know, part of that is also like, you know, if you can disconnect from that, you know, detach from that, you know. There's a lot of books now, you know, the you know, Fuck It and the Way of Fuck It, and I think there's a few other Fuck It's, but one of the first ones I ever read was John C. Parkin's one, just called Fuck It. It's out a good few years now. And the reason why it caught my eye was, as a teenager, I used to have a rule. It was called Kenny's Law, and Kenny's Law was fuck it, you know. And in a way, it was how I just let things go. You know, I didn't attach onto things. When something goes wrong, you know, we can attach onto that and we can let it become part of us, you know. Whereas, you know, fuck it is just that detachment away from it, you know. But yeah, John C. Parkin's Fuck It was a great one, and it caught my eye just because of the title and because of what I used to say as a teenager. But, you know, there's other attachments that we form. We form attachments to, people like, I'd be lost without my phone. You know, like 20 years ago or 20 odd years ago, you know, you didn't have a phone. Everyone was grand without it, you know. Other people like, I wouldn't be able to go out the door without makeup on. It's like, you know, whose opinion, you know, has gotten inside your head to think that you're not good enough to go outside the door with makeup on, you know. So, you know, if you can find that beauty in that insignificance where you realize actually none of it matters. It doesn't matter people's opinions, you know, because, you know, what matters is that you live the life that you want to live. What matters is you do the things that you want to do, you know, that you feel will make you happy. You know, and again, going on opinions and all, just because I enjoy exercise and I enjoy training and lifting weights and I enjoy how eating well makes me feel, and, you know, but that's not for everyone either. Like, you know, just because that's my thing doesn't mean it has to be your thing. You know, there's a fella, Gary Vaynerchuk, you may or may not be familiar with him, but he's often said it in a number of videos, like, you know, he's American and he'd be talking about, you know, like, I don't care if you're living in your mother's basements in your white fronts, you know, on the internet all day, like overweight and eating junk. But, like, if you can wake up every day and say you're truly happy, well, then you've already won, you know. And same for you. It's like, you know, no matter what you're doing now, no matter what my opinion of your lifestyle is, or what someone else's opinions of your job is, or, you know, if you wake up every day and say you're truly happy, well, then you're already winning. You're doing the things that you want to do that make you happy in this, hopefully, 85 years that you get, you know. But as soon as you complain, that's it. All bets are off, because that complaining, that's a hole in your story. Then that's a hole in your happiness. You know, if you can complain about something, well, then it's just like, oh yeah, well, I like this and this, but, you know, I'm not really happy about this. But maybe to get happy about that, we have to look at taking away something from the other side. So it's like, we can look at, I'm not losing my train of thought now. Now, I'm no Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm not cutting or editing this video. We're going straight through in these videos. This is off the cuff, straight talking. But I was talking about attachments and happiness. Oh yeah, but it's if you can wake up and say you're truly happy, then great. But it's like if you the other thing about happiness and success then is, if you look at, pick someone who you deem successful in whatever it is you deem as success, whether it's sports or money or business or whatever, it doesn't matter. But you pick something. The other thing you have to remember is that they're as insignificant as you. They only get handed 24 hours a day. They only got handed, a brain, a heart. Most people 2 arms, 2 legs. But it's what they chose to do with it. And same for you. It's what you're choosing to do. But part of what you choose to do is you choose to be let other people's opinions holding you back. So it's if you look at actually it was Jim Carrey, wasn't it? It was Jim Carrey that talked before about his father. And his father could have been a great comedian, but ended up being an accountant, and then one day lost his job and all. And Jim Carrey was like, why do what you don't, or why worry about failing at what you do want to do when you can lose what you don't want to do anyway? And he's dead right. Like, why be pushed towards this kind of false happiness, I suppose, which is based off other people's opinions, But it's but yeah, if you can find that beauty, the beauty in your insignificance, it can take you very far, and just learn how to detach, because none of it matters, And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like go out and do evil shit and be a prick, and but it's go out and do what you want to do, and of course it matters in the terms of the immediate impact on being kind to people, the immediate impact of gratitude, of love, But on the bigger picture of things, don't be held back. Don't be held back doing what you really want to do by the opinions of others. Don't be held back by your attachments, to phones or cars or clothes or, and, don't be afraid to have your own opinion on what success is, your own opinion on what beauty is, your own opinion on what good clothes are, whatever. I don't know. Just don't be afraid to develop your own opinion. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, like I am now. I work outside of this facility. I am also a firefighter and paramedic. I know I'm going to listen to shit about this video, but it's okay. Because the other thing, I'll give you another line before I go. Another thing I always say to people is, before you say something, think of what it is you're saying and who you're saying it to. But more importantly, before you listen, think of what they're saying and who's saying it to you. Meaning that, like, in this industry, in the fitness industry, I often look at or listen to trainers or so-called coaches and all, but they don't have a backing to say what they say. Whereas the funny thing is, and in this, and I have a couple of other businesses, in this sort of business or other businesses, the people who are more successful than you will very rarely ever put you down. They might tell you you're doing something wrong, but to be telling you in an honourable way, in listen, you're doing this wrong, but this is how you can do it better type of thing. No one who does something better than you will ever put you down for doing what you do, because they've been there. I'd never go online publicly and say to someone like, listen, like how you're doing your squat there is shit, like, but you can, I've often done this, and people probably think I'm being a dick, but I'm not. I'm actually being genuine. I've often messaged people privately and said, listen, do you see what you're doing here in A, B, and C? Well, you should try X, Y, and Z, like, and it's, but that's it, like, so when we talk about, and the opinions of others, yeah, just be careful, and we've all heard it, we've been told this all along, but no one ever believes it, but it's true, like, but it's first you have to, just try and find that beauty in the insignificance of you and your life, and then be happy with it. Be comfortable in knowing that, like, actually, none of this matters. It's all right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me blabbering on. I do intend on doing a few more of these. You know, they're good crack. I do have some stories to tell you. I was going to start off with a couple of serious stories, but I have to be in the right mindset, because you know I end up crying every time I'm telling these stories, and you know I have some stories that will inspire people. I have done talks publicly to people, groups of people, and you know there's some great great feedback from them. And you know, I think the aim is just to help each other along, you know, because we're all in this together, aren't we? Okay. But anyway, hopefully, I've no schedule for when the next videos. You know, check out my other videos. I have a lot of technique stuff there, kettlebells, body weight. I'm gonna have a lot of barbell technique videos coming up. There's workouts there. Any of you want anything, just put it in the comments. The worst thing I can say is no. Cheers.